Hi there, Green Thumb Gardener here today. Today we're going to be talking about winter vegetables. So now's the time to take out your summer vegetables like your tomatoes, your zucchinis, your cantaloupes, and different things like that that you've been growing that are summer vegetables, which are usually annuals. So then you could start thinking about putting in your cool season vegetable. It doesn't really require that much water. Once you get it established, you could usually just let the rain water everything, and that's why it's my favorite time to garden is in the winter. So now you could see that the garden is starting to kind of die off, and it's the tomatoes are starting to look a little ratty, so it's time to get those out of there and start putting in some cool season vegetables. So you could either put seed with some stuff, and then uh, it might be a little late for some other things, so you might want to put in transplants that have already been growing, like starters. Um, Things that I like to grow in the wintertime are cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Sugar snap peas are an all-time favorite too. There's a few different kinds of cabbages that you could put in that have been tested in this area and grow pretty well. There's Copenhagen, there's Earliana, there's Ruby Ball. Those all have done well here in the Bay Area. And then for cauliflower, you could put cheddar or early snowball. Those are good. And you could put Brussels sprouts in now, but I wouldn't recommend doing that by seed. I would probably do that by transplant if you want. And then carrots, you could do those by seed. I like Thumbelina and Chardonnay. I also like using the different colors of carrots. You know, there's the orange, which is a standard, but you could also put some whites and some yellows and some reds and purples. Those seem to do a little better than the standard orange carrots here. And then chard, you could grow chard year round, so you could put by seed or by transplant, whichever one you care for. And then garlic, you could put in different cloves right now, and that's another cool season crop. You could put burgundy, California early, California late, Georgia crystal. Those are all strong garlic varieties that grow around here. You could also put kohlrabi, and you could do that by seed. You could also get transplants, and there's early purple, there's Vienna, there's kohlrabi, there's white Vienna, and those also do pretty well here. And then you could lettuce. Lettuce is it's a great time to put lettuce in now too. Uh, you just have to make sure that it's getting watered if you do put it in. You could do it by seed, and September is the time for seed for lettuce. And you could also do transplants, and that's in October. So it's it's still not too late for seed, and you could put that in. You could put Simpson Black Simpson, Black Seed Simpson. That one's a pretty strong one. You could put Canasta, Marvel of Four Seasons, Merlot, Nancy, Oak Leaf, Prize Head, Red Ridgebud, Sangria, and Sierra. Those are all pretty strong lettuce varieties here. And you could also put mache, but mache has been it's another type of leafy green that you could eat, but it's been recently put on a California invasive species list, so you might want to skip that one. So you could also put onions right now. Onions are a good time to put in, so you could do that by seed, and you could put early yellow globe, you could put Fiesta, Granex, Grano, Southport white globe, and white sweet Spanish, and yellow sweet Spanish, and those all do pretty well over here. And then you could put spinach in, and I don't know. You might have a little bit of problem with the leaf miners. The leaf miners, they actually crawl inside the spinach leaf in between the membrane, and they mine out in between the spinach leaves, and kind of create a tunnel, and it kind of looks like saran wrap a little bit, the leaf, after they mine through it. One thing that you could do to prevent that is you could get some Agribon, just like a light Agribon, maybe Agribon 15, and you could just put that after you put your spinach. You could put that on top of it. It's just a white cloth that you could put over your greens to kind of protect them, and that should keep out the leaf miners, and also keep the birds from eating all your spinach that's coming up. So yeah, I like using Agribon. Even 45 would work too, and you could actually water through it, and it has enough air and stuff. So that's another thing you could do. And then turnips, you could put Amber Globe and White Lady, Scarlet Queen. So there's a lot of different options you could put in for these winter crops. But yeah, I love having sugar snap peas, and sweet sugar snap pea. That one is really delicious, and that's probably one of my favorite ones that I'm looking forward to putting in. All right, and then you also might want to start thinking about putting in cover crops. You could put clover in, you could put alfalfa, you could put perennial or annual rye. Yeah, annual rye, that's a good cover crop. You could also put fava beans, and yeah, it's a good time to put in fava beans. You could go over to the Middle Eastern store over here and pick up a whole bag of fava beans for like, I don't know, a couple bucks, and put them all in your yard. And since it's a legume, it helps fix nitrogen into the soil, and then you got all your nitrogen that was depleted from your tomatoes and your corn or whatever other seasonal or warm season vegetables you were planting. So yeah, that's a good thing to do. And then when you're done with that, you just cut it down, and then you just leave it there as a mulch. And because it has a lot of nutrients in it, and it helps add fertility to the soil. So if you're not going to do winter vegetables, you might think about putting in a cover crop just to keep the ground nice and covered, so you don't have all that runoff. The roots help stabilize everything and prevent the runoff, and then you keep your nutrients in the soil where they should be. All right, and yeah, today's my birthday. So I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, happy gardening.